What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm breaking down the one and only trade that I took on Tqqq that I lost $91 on. So without further ado, this is the trade that I took. Here's another trade. Also, I'll explain one that I saw this morning that I did not end up taking. So the first trade that I saw this morning was price came down into this area and it bounced. Now this was the pre-market low. Pre-market low right here. We had some news. We bounced right out of that area, but the issue with this trade is this candle right here was news, so it was a little bit too much risk for me to take. So I would have taken, as soon as this candle closed, it closed above this fair value gap right here, inversing it and closing above 13 EMA, and then pulling back and retesting the EMA. Now, I would have gotten in somewhere around probably midway of this range, more than likely, once I started to see strength off of this. That would have been the idea, but I didn't want to take it because it was right after news. So instead, I took a losing trade. So essentially what happened was we came back up this previous resistance area. I did initially expect us to sweep liquidity and then move to the downside, but we were chopping so much that I expected us to then chop sideways, sweep out some of these lows, and then begin moving upwards or to the upside, whatever, right? Because we had this liquidity from the pre-market high up here, and then we also had liquidity from the previous day. This liquidity, and just some up in here from that huge move down yesterday. So with that in mind, I expected more of an upside move, but what we got here was this push up. We got this push up here on this 2-minute candle. We pull back. I added half my position size right here. And then I expected a pullback to around this 48 EMA. So once we pull back to this 48 EMA and we began bouncing, I added my other half my position. I believe it was either here or here. It was somewhere in this area once we started to get bounces off of the 48 EMA. And then I set my stop loss basically just below this low right here. And we just went down and it stopped me out, unfortunately, because it's too choppy. The other thing I was looking at for a further trade would have been this trend line break to the upside. We got that trend line break. I was looking for a pullback right in here off these EMAs for support, and all we did was go straight back through it. So I'm done trading for the day. One loss today. I kept it like somewhat small. It's still a little bit more than I would like. I wish I would have just used only the half size and never really added the other half size, but it is what it is. So with that being said, hopefully you learned something from this video. Hopefully you can apply it to your own trading, and I'll see you guys in the next video.